this video, actually, this whole video series comes from a speech I just gave in Texas at the Germania conference. And we were talking about the need to fire clients. And I got to tell you, sometimes it can be very hard to fire clients, right? We might be in a small town. We might be scared of what will happen. Will they leave a bad online review? And I always say that, fear is never a reason to do anything. So if you're keeping clients that are dragging down your business, it's kind of like rip the Band-Aid. When are you going to do it? Those clients that are dragging you down and the relationship isn't working, something will happen. They will leave a bad online review and they're your customer. They might be terrorizing your staff. And the reality is when you say yes to one thing, we say no to something else. And so if your staff is saying yes to very needy, low revenue clients, they're saying no to cross-selling. Which one's going to get the agency farther ahead? But the team had and now the agency, they just had a lot of questions. How do you fire a client? So we're going to start breaking that down in this video series. Our first step is identifying, who should we be firing, right? And our guidelines are the clients that are just particularly rude and nasty to your team, because that's not a professional work environment and it can overly stress your team out. Now, I'm not talking about somebody who has a bad day. I'm talking about repeat offenders. We're also looking at people who have consistent payment challenges and there's no hope on the horizon that they're going to get fixed. These can just drag resources between reinstatements and then being upset about late fees and calling if that's what your agency does. You get trapped in a whole whirlwind of payment strategies. When you're saying yes to tracing down payment for people who need to pay, we're saying no to maybe following up on new business that could replace it with somebody more higher value and a higher target. The next thing we always like to say is just the quantity of activities versus the revenue. Not every agency client is profitable. And some have growth stocks that we need to nurture, and some are just never, ever going to be profitable. And we need a plan to identify those and move on from them. Your ideal first step is a criteria of how you're going to analyze it. And it doesn't mean that you become a cowboy and just stop renewing everybody, but we're going to walk you through some of those steps. If you could clear away your most needy, dramatic, pain in the butt clients, think about where that time could go. We heard stories about people who have to call them the day that their payment is and get their payment taken care of. We've heard people who, want to move their EFT date a million times. We hear about people who are thinking about making claims and, are lying about things. These are all clients that you just simply don't have time for. So keep watching this video series now that we know some targets we should look at firing. And now in this video, we're going to have you walk through the how you're going to fire them. So there's one thing that I'm committed to solving as I turn 40, which is eradicating the word busy from insurance agencies. So often, so many times, we're not hitting our agency's potential just because our team is busy. And sometimes they're busy doing the wrong things. They're over-servicing the least desirable clients, or they're not sure how to manage email and tasks, so they're just working off of 5 different places. Or inevitably, they're taking too many payments, which the carriers can take. There's about 10 different core issues that agencies face with time management, and lo and behold, we have just revamped our time management course to tackle each one by one for your team. What I've found in my experiences is that when agencies feel like there's a little bit more time in the day, the cross-selling increases, the follow-ups on new business explode, and ultimately your team turnover is lower because they're not as stressed. So you might be thinking to yourself, how does time management help me grow my agency? It helps you avoid all the obstacles that you're spending too much time on, such as putting out fires. And when your team is working uniformly and collectively and can do this thing, which is raise their hand and ask for help, and you as a leader have metrics to manage backlog, you can dive in and be more productive and efficient for your clients. So it's been said that all of our programs hinge on time management. If you can nail down time management, you can make renewal calls. You can have a better closing ratio. You can run your agency more efficiently and effectively, and that's what I've solved in this course. I hope that you become a student. I hope that you subscribe to our courses, because if your team meetings are lagging and your team needs access to great knowledge, our courses are the answer. So what are we waiting for? Let's get started moving your team from busy to effective. And let's go ahead and eradicate that B word from all of our agencies. Have fun and let's go kill it, guys. We want to make your agency ridiculously amazing. And all that starts out with efficiency and effectiveness in your client experience. What are you waiting for? Let's go do it.